Hi there, fellow poultry enthusiasts. Welcome to Poultry Nerds, the podcast where we nerd out on all things feathered and fabulous. Whether you're a backyard chicken keeper, a farmer looking to optimize your flock's health, or simply a curious bird lover, you're in the right place. Join Jennifer of Bryant's Roost and Carrie of Show Pro Farm Supply, the hosts and fellow poultry nerds. Ready to dive into the wild world of chickens, quail, ducks, and everything in between? Each week, we bring you expert advice, fascinating interviews, and poultry tales that ruffle a few feathers. All served up with a side of humor and a pinch of nerdiness and a few rabbit holes. Let's fly into this next episode.
Oh, yes, it did.
It did. We have been tooling with new logos that look cool and better show y'all who we are. And y'all just got to witness an aha moment.
I didn't know you hit record.
Sometimes you have to hit the button and then hit it again. And you never know if it's going to do it right then or wait a few minutes. So today we're going to talk about something really cool, really mysterious to some folks. We're going to talk about celadons and then blue eggs.
If you're listening to us on the day we release it or close by, we are doing 6 weeks of quail to build up to quail mania.
Yep.
And if you're listening to us in the future, well, hello. And quail mania is still on the website. So you can find us there. So we did not have anybody to talk about celadon this year on Quail Mania. So I was like, well, okay, we'll just do it on one of the shows leading up to the actual event, like preempted.
I mean, if you really look at it, when you're talking about celadons, there's lots of people that say they have celadons, but they're white, they're not blue. Or they're not always blue or whatever. So, there's less than 10 serious breeders, probably. Maybe one or two more. Yeah, I'm not going to number them because I don't know an exact number, but there's not a crap load. We'll say that's a Southern vernacular term that we use. There's not a crap load of them.
That's the nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
So this is actually a slideshow I had put together for something else that I was working on. So we are going to kind of work through it for our purposes here. We're recycling slideshows.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with celadons for about a year, and I'm still learning about them. I do know that once you hatch out a celadon, and they're from celadon eggs, those blue eggs should go in the hatching basket by themselves and never, ever, ever touch a different egg.
Okay, so you just made a common mistake. Just because it's a blue egg doesn't mean it's a true blue celadon.
Okay, I get that, but you know what I mean.
Well,
Once you got your true blues, I wouldn't even, everybody says they need fresh blood. I would not even consider that because one bird that's not true blue screws up the whole thing.
If you did get new blood, then it would need to be from another true blue line. And that could be fun. Interesting. So on this slide is just simply why would you even want a celadon egg? And that's just to add some color to your egg basket. It doesn't taste any different. It's not nutritionally any different. It's just literally a blue egg. Doesn't necessarily do anything for me, just being honest, but people like them.
That's because you're colorblind and can't see it.
Okay, if we're going to put that out there, it might mean more to me if I could see it. They all look white to me.
Well, I mean, you can see blue, but I've seen it at your barn. in your barn, those celadon eggs look a lot like others unless you take them outside.
Yeah. I still can't see them though. I don't know.
Well,
So the history of the celadon gene, we're just going to touch on that. It was found in 1973 in a Japanese lab, and they studied it. They named it celadon. They gave it the code capital C, little e. It is a recessive gene. It is okay. So it's not like a genetic thing that turns a switch and makes blue eggshells. What it
Right.
actually does is turns a switch and changes how the liver cleans blood, which causes the biliverdin. I hope I say that right. I'm always scared I'm gonna say it wrong, but I don't never heard it, so I don't know if I'm saying it wrong.
Right.
Biliverdin is blue, and it just moves it to the eggshell gland.
Girl, it's
And
a
so-
biliverdin pigment.
Biliverdin. We're just gonna go with that. Southern
Works.
vernacular. That's what you said.
Right.
So a celadon eggshell is blue through and through because that pigment was put on or infused in the eggshell gland versus the brown spots, which are painted on. You can wash them off, actually. You cannot wash the blue off. It is blue.
Which is, you know, a lot of our listeners have probably heard people say something about like how the young eggs, or if a bird doesn't really have all the nutrition it needs, the eggs just kind of come out just like a bland color, and we say, oh, the printer must have been out of ink.
Mhm.
That's why, because it literally is like put on there like that.
So if a bird is celadon, you can't see it from the outside. It is a genetic makeup, and it either is or it isn't. It can't float back and forth between the two. So it is recessive gene. If you want to do celadons, you do have to have a crude working relationship with genetics, like high school level genetics. So recessive means it has to have 2 copies to work, right?
Yeah.
So only a homozygous, which means 2 copies, can lay blue eggs. So if a hen is laying blue eggs, she's a celadon. The problem comes in with boys don't lay eggs, so you have to test breed them to confirm if they're celadon or not. And that's where people lose interest. It's too hard. It's too hard to track.
Oh,
How what?
who loses interest in hatching a crap ton of chicks?
It's not that. It's the record keeping. If you're trying
Well, I
to
mean,
make
tracking
your
them's
true
not
blue.
always that
Now, if you're
fun, but
really blue, then that's different. But if you're trying to make true blue, you have to have records and know what you're doing and who you tested.
do a lot of pair mating.
And it can be a PIA. We'll just leave it
Major.
at that.
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
so
if you sourced yours from somebody that is reputable and there's our true blue, then you know when you're doing your breeding and you're having your fun, you're just hatching for confirmation and for fun to improve what you have.
Mhm.
But if you're trying to start, then that's going to be a big problem.
We'll be right back.
This episode is proudly supported by the folks at Valley Hatchery. Valley Hatchery isn't just chickens. They offer quail hatching eggs, waterfowl, turkeys, game birds, guineas, and started pullets. The list really does go on. If it belongs on a working homestead, Valley Hatchery has it covered. What we appreciate is their focus on strong, healthy birds, clear information, and real choices like optional vaccinations. so you can raise your birds the way you want. From backyard flocks to working farms, Valley Hatchery provides hardworking birds for hardworking people. Learn more at valleyhatchery.com.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of record keeping. So if you occasionally hatch birds that lay blue eggs, then you have more than likely a celadon carrier in your boys. And he is throwing, and you have a celadon carrier in your girls. And then eventually the two are mating and you're getting a celadon occasionally. It's not going to be consistent unless you can find them. And yeah, celadons are kind of a pain. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Like, I've had them for 3 years and I'm pretty well over them at this point. So true blue refers to the line, not to the egg. So my line is true blue. Okay. I can, without a doubt, send blue eggs out to my customers, and I know that they will get birds that lay blue 100% of the time.
Yep.
Now, if I take Joe Blow off of eBay, who is selling blue eggs, he may have them paired with a non-celadon rooster. So while you receive blue eggs, their offspring would only be carriers because the rooster is not celadon.
And
So
I'm just going to say that holds true to just about anything you get off of eBay. You know, I'm not saying everything stinks. Sadly, we're in a day where there's a lot of scamming around poultry. And so, you gotta do your homework before you purchase that kind of stuff and make sure you're buying from somebody that's legit.
If you know that you want celadon eggs, this is going to be one of the times where I tell you that patience is warranted to find the correct breeder and know who you're buying from. If you only want some color in your egg basket, then order a hen's choice and tell them to throw some celadons in there, and you will occasionally get blue eggs. So it is what it is. Now let's talk about the interior. We see this a lot on social media. The inside of an eggshell can sometimes look blue in certain lights. That carries a lot of myths on social media that has nothing to do with the celadon gene. So an eggshell is made up of minerals, right? Calcium, all kinds of things. And those minerals refract light, and some of them will refract light in a blue tint. And that is what you are seeing. Not different from the sky. It's just a refraction of light. It has zero to do with celadon. You cannot look at a bird's coloring, its plumage color, and tell if it's celadon or not. I can't even think of some of the other myths. You can't tell by looking at an egg if it's a celadon carrier, and it won't change and lay blue one day and speckled the next day or spotted the next day.
You get what you get on that.
Now, I select for solid blue eggs. I do like them like that, but celadons can come with raised speckles. That is perfectly fine. That's still celadon. You can scratch them off with your thumbnail. That is still celadon. And you can select for speckles. I mean, it's just a personal preference. I personally don't like the speckles. I do keep some because people like them. But if I were just doing it just for me, it would not have speckles. I like that nice look to them. Okay, so the celadon gene is technically a gene that changes the biliverdin out of the blood into the eggshell gland. It really has nothing to do with its.
So I mean, we're basically playing with a jacked up liver.
Yes, it's a liver gene, not an eggshell gene.
I mean, just to get technical.
So the blue comes from the biliverdin, and the brown.
Ooh, say that word.
I know biliverdin.
The other one
comes from protoporphyrin. Protoporphyrin.
Yeah, now say that 3 times real fast.
Protoporphyrin. So it is actually painted on at the end of the egg cycle, right before the bloom. So it is actually still damp when the egg is laid. And if you can grab it fast enough, you can put your thumbprint in it. That's how damp it still is. So it is spray painted on.
I don't know if that would be really cool or really weird.
Well,
to
fun
have
fact,
your thumbprint
on an egg, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But fun fact, if you boil your quail eggs and then put them in a vinegar solution, it will cause the eggshell to disintegrate and all the spots will float to the top. It's kind of one of those nerdy things.
So like, making pickled eggs.
Yes.
You don't have to peel them. You just boil them, go ahead and put them in the vinegar, wait a while, and scoop the dots off.
I personally don't like to do it. It still leaves the membrane, so you still got to pinch the membrane off. But it's fine if you're going to pickle them. It's fine if you're going to pickle them, but I wouldn't do it if you were just going to try to eat them like that because they will have a slight vinegary taste. But it's kind of neat to watch the spots float to the top, and it doesn't take very long. A couple hours at the most.
That's cool.
It's different. Things you never thought you would need to know for 100, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the eggshell. Blue is part of the eggshell. Brown is a paint job. And the inside of the eggshell is just light refraction. Plumage, it comes in lots of colors. For the longest time, because the Japanese did it, they put it on EB. So all of the birds were Rosetta or Tibetan or tuxedo. And that's how they stayed for ever and a day. But now people are starting to put them on other colors. They have lots of different colors. And I think Aaron,
once they got here,
feather sexable.
Once those things got here, we were like, okay, this is cool, but like, let's see what else we can do. Because everybody that has quail probably started with them because they like to do science projects with chickens.
Because it goes really fast.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, celadon selection. Now, this is another myth that we're going to find on social media quite a bit, that celadon are harder to hatch. That is, in fact, not true.
No.
When you select eggs for hatching, they should be appropriately sized, nice, even coloring, not bands of blue or clusters of the speckles at the point, and they should be shiny. They should have a nice bloom on them. Monochromatic, the blue circles. Shell firmness, you want to select for solid eggs. You don't want to be able to put your thumb through them.
Yeah, if you pick it up, like when you're picking them up, if you hear it cry, feed it to your pigs or throw it in the garbage or something.
This is for any bird, not just celadons, but specifically celadons, because remember, this is essentially an eggshell deformity, if you ask my opinion, that we've exasperated to make into something. So we have to keep that in mind. So no weak shells, no dull shells, no multi-blue shells, and the pointy end should be correct with sometimes they put all the speckles on the pointy end, the hen does. I don't know why that happens, but you don't want that. You want everything to look like a proper egg, feel good in your hand, and not be mushy, because those won't hatch. And that could be, and well, that is what I think people are doing, and then saying they're harder to hatch. So it goes back to egg selection.
Well, that's one of the issues with that is because it's so hard to find good quality true blues. And when you do, you hatch everything you can.
Well, they just won't hatch. The bad eggs of these won't grow.
Yeah, they won't.
So there's no point in putting them in there. But this goes for selection for anything. If you're breeding celadons or you're breeding turkeys, it does not matter. Anything that you select for is what you're breeding forward. So if you select weak shells and deformities, then that's what you're breeding.
Yeah, don't complain about where you got your eggs from if you continue the cycle.
Correct. Culling is part of breeding, so selection. As far as hatching them, you select accordingly. You put them in the incubator accordingly. They still the same humidity, same temperature, same amount of days, and move on with your life. And in that picture, the one on the right with the splotch on the pointy end, that's the one I'm talking about. That won't hatch. So eat that one. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So my final notes were to keep good records if you're trying to create a true blue line. They are a high cull line. You're culling for egg selection. You're culling for bird size. You're culling for color if you're trying to breed a certain color bird. So you're going to cull a lot with these birds. And as the hen ages, the eggs get lighter. So she may lay robin's egg blue when she first starts, but by the time she ages out, they'll be like a grayish white. So my last note, they can be aggravating and rewarding.
All at the same time. I mean, I think they're cool. It's different. It's neat to look at. But at the end of the day, I still like meat and eggs. That's just me. But they're cool. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
they're
like,
still
hey, I'm
edible.
sorry, genetically your liver's messed up, but it's not going to affect how you taste, how you look, or anything else. You're just going to give me a blue egg.
Right. They're still edible. They can still be bred to jumbo size. They're just lay a blue egg. I mean, I personally don't see the appeal, but I understand people do. But once you have, the only thing I can say is once you have a true blue line, if they are all, say, Rosetta or Tibetan on that extended brown, then I personally, and I don't in my barn, I don't keep those colors non-celadon. That way I know.
Oh, yeah, because you get them mixed.
Yeah. I mean,
You're messed up. You got to start all over if you're responsible.
I just don't keep them. I don't have those colors in non-celadon. And it just makes it easier if one decides to fly from one brooder to the next, then I can just look at it, because in my barn, that color is celadon. And so that's what we talk about. Even though plumage does not denote celadon, in my barn, I know that Rosetta or Tibetan is celadon, because those are the only colors that my celadons come in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how, I guess, when people say they know that that's celadon, that would be the only case. You can't look at somebody else's birds and say, well, I have a white celadon, so therefore your white bird must be celadon. You can't do that.
Yeah, that definitely don't work.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I mean, it would be cool if you did, but
Yeah, no, you can't.
there's a lot of stuff that would be cool that you could just look and know.
Yep. So these pictures were taken from a photographer customer of mine, and she did such a fantastic job. I used them for my pictures. I sent her celadon eggs, and she hatched them out. But then she took the pictures for me and sent them to me. So you can kind of see there, some of them are blue, and then some of them are getting lighter, and those are from older hens. So if you receive an order of celadons, not necessarily from me, but from anybody, and the eggs may be a little whitish, that just means it's from an older hen. It doesn't have anything. It won't.
Yeah, you're
mean
still gonna
that
get
you're-
celadons when you hatch those things out.
Correct. Exactly. So
It just means that she was ready to retire.
she's getting there. She's getting close.
Yeah.
All right. So another week closer to Quail Mania. You can still get your tickets. You can still join for free. Go to quailmania.com. We'll have 15 different videos from different speakers about different topics from beginner level to business level.
Yep.
I'm excited. We're getting close.
I'm excited and nervous because I don't know. I just get nervous about stuff. Like after it starts off, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah. But up until that moment, yeah, it's just the what if in me, I guess. I don't know.
We have lots of cool giveaways in between each speaker.
Oh yes, tons of free eggs.
Yes. And we have a live chat will be going on, and I'll be announcing the winners in between each speaker. And gosh, it's just a lot. So if there's ever anything you ever wanted to know about quail, whether you want to raise them or not, doesn't matter to us. Come learn something new.
And hey, if you don't know if you want to raise them or not, sign up for the free. You'll learn a lot about them. Make the decision.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right. We'll be here.
All right. Thank you for joining us this week. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can receive new episodes right when they are released. And they're released every week. Feel free to email us at poultrynerds@gmail.com to share your thoughts about the show. Until next time, Poultry Pals, keep clucking, keep learning, and keep it exciting. This is Carrie signing off from Poultry Nerds. Feathers up, everyone.